So who am I here with?
I'm James, CEO of Richtr Financial Studio. This is my awesome colleague, 𝗍𝗂.
All right, Richter's Financial Studio. So what do you guys do?
We provide accounting and fractional CFO services as well as just a broad suite of solutions that are really designed to help life science, aerospace, defense, deep tech companies with all their startup scale-up needs.
Okay, so that's quite broad. How did you settle on those divisions?
Well, we love working with innovation companies, and so working with them, they're kind of creating the future of what we're all going to be living in, creating health outcomes, protecting our national security, building the space economy, and we just really love working in that space.
Okay, so your background is in accounting, but you're passionate about making an impact in the life sciences, in aerospace. What did you picture you were going to do when you grew up, when you were younger?
Good question. I have to go back to my prior me. I took it one step at a time. It would be more summarized as if there's a fork in the road, take it. And I kept taking them.
Yes, as we do, right?
Yeah.
And so you just adjust, and as life comes on, you accept it and move on.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
So I'm 𝗍𝗂𝗺𝗺. I'm a CPA and partner with Richtr Financial Studio. And I'm based in San Diego. And we love working with innovation companies. And I think we also recognized with innovation companies, they had a lot of need in sorting out how to best manage their finances. But also they had this unique need of managing grants and contracts with the government, but also fundraising. And so it's a specialty we have, helping companies who have both non-dilutive funding with grants and contracts and also investor funding. And so we come in to help them sort out how to get ready for fundraising, how to communicate their fundraise, the pitch, all those finance aspects that a lot of first-time founders are missing.
9 out of 10 startup companies fail. You guys are trying to help those 9. Maybe we bring it down to 8, maybe to 7.
Yeah, and I think we have a pretty nice track record. We have a really nice portfolio of clients who we start out sometimes with their first government grant, and then they raise their seed, their Series A, they go into B, and so it's exciting to watch them grow. And it's exciting to work with the right companies too, where we kind of identify the ones who have a lot of promise.
Walk me through that process. How do you identify which companies you want to work with? I'm assuming you don't work with every company that comes up to you guys. How does that process look?
So part of the vetting is actually seeing which companies have that first government grant, and that's a lot of validation. If the government is willing to fund the research, that really shows that they have something that's commercially viable, because the government wants to fund things that are commercially viable. So that's a big step up. We also have other advisors or other people, affiliates that we work with, where we can kind of see how that technology is faring in the market. And then with the use of AI now, there is so much market research we could do as a firm.
So what's a common red flag that you see with a company where you say, maybe we need to take a step back, this might not be the right fit for us?
Right. One of the main areas is that people just aren't open to guidance.
Yes.
If people are just very set on not really doing what they need to do to be successful, and if we can't help them, then we just let them go on their way.
Yep.
And also companies that are so minimally transactional that it's really not going to let them reach their objectives. And so we're very collaborative, and we like to work very much in terms of helping them get outcomes. And if they're not gonna, I guess it's kind of coming back to coachability. If they're not gonna collaborate and do what's needed at a certain level to be successful, then it's not going to end well. So we just suggest they maybe work with someone else.
Yeah. So on the other side of the spectrum, when you're speaking with a company and a founder, what's a nice green flag where you say, okay, this is the type of company we really want to get behind?
So if they have a clear plan as to where they plan to go with the business as far as exiting. So if you have a founder who has great technology, but they haven't really thought that far down, that's a red flag. But if a green flag is they've already thought through their exit points, or they plan to IPO, or they plan to commercialize, those are some really nice green flags. Another green flag is if they have funding, like seed funding. So that's a nice green flag too. And if they already have their first government grant or contract.
Absolutely.
Or prior, prior track record of success. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What's the X factor? What's that thing that when you talk to a founder and you can't quite put your finger on it? What's that look like?
I think it's often they get the bigger picture of what they're trying to do. Sometimes you get real technical founders that can't get beyond just being a technical founder, and yet they're in the CEO suite, and they need to understand that part of running a business is taking care of the whole organization and all the different elements. And so they can't just hang out in the lab and keep doing what they're doing and expect it's going to work. And so, there's a great book on that, the 𝗍𝗵, and it was just talking about, Michael Gerber was talking about how the different aspects of the business have to be tended to, even if, the person in the CEO role, they either need to step up or they, need to recognize that they're not addressing all the roles and step aside. So people that have that bigger vision and are willing to have other people fill the roles they're not able to fill or step aside if it's not them.
So. I agree with that.
Yeah. So we're here in sunny San Diego, beautiful sunny San Diego, with BLPN. How long have you guys been members?
It's about 3 years, I think, approaching 4, roughly, plus or minus. I'd have to check the archives.
And what's your favorite thing about Bullpen?
I would say the sense of community and collaboration, and it's also very high quality people. We're also regularly meeting new people. So there's a core of people that you regularly meet and you collaborate with and hear about things, and it's very open and welcoming. Whereas, and yet there's still, sort of fresh connections and, people coming in. So.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Yeah, I really think they've done a great job curating such a really neat community also. All the members I've met so far, whether they are a founder or another service provider, they all understand the mission of the organization.
Which is
to help someone find someone else and repeat. I don't know it word for word, but that's the gist of it.
That's the gist of
it. And that works really nicely with how we work with clients as they're coming up into growing their business. Is we usually we're doing a lot of mentoring at the beginning through different organizations we work with, and then as they start growing, we're here as a provider to help them.
Very cool.
I also like the elevated context that we're here on the rooftop, and other times it's a yacht club, or there's all sorts of neat aspects to kind of make it fun at the same time and just keep it fresh and lively. So.
And last question for both of you. One piece of advice that you'd like to put out to young founders when they're looking for fractional accountants or fractional teams?
I think to understand that there's never too early to talk to someone in the finance realm, because there is quite a lot to prepare for, especially if you're applying for your first grants. There are a lot of PhDs who spin out of universities who they've not had to do this work because the university did it for them. And so now they're in a situation where they really need to understand what they need to get ready for. And so there's never too early if they're thinking about starting their business. It's good to take the time to just get educated on what they need.
So to kind of just to add a little bit to that, it's really just not ignoring the finance part of their business, so you can't just focus on the science. You really have to focus on also, what are your finances? What's your run rate? What's your burn rate? How do you manage government grants and contracts? How do you plan for the next round? How do you communicate to investors clearly with investor-ready performance? How do you really move down the road? And so just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's not important. And so understand the importance of attending to the full aspects of all the aspects of the business and the full all the elements within the finance realm too.
Yeah, very good. Well, you guys have great advice. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
That was easy.
All right, cheers.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.